The Baltimore Ravens this offseason were able to answer a lot of key questions that a lot of fans were faced after their disappointing loss in the AFC Championship game. Losing that game so close to the Super Bowl after your quarterback wins MVP and has looked like the best overall team in the regular season hurts, but the Ravens did not stay down. The front office quickly got to work, adding on a lot of depth to this roster. The Ravens did lose some key pieces this offseason like Patrick Queen, their most productive edge rusher in Jadeveon Clowney, their touchdown leader and running back Gus Edwards, and the NFL's runner-up in interceptions last season, safety Geno Stone. Also, a major concern for this roster is their offensive line, as they lost tackle Morgan Moses, guard John Simpson, and Kevin Zeitler. They all left in free agency. The Ravens expect their offense to improve with Jackson under his second season under coordinator Todd Monken. Baltimore has not only added Derrick Henry, but also sees the return of a healthier Mark Andrews at tight end, and wide receiver Zay Flowers, who set team rookie records with 77 receptions and 858 receiving yards. On defense, the Ravens are solid in the middle with 3 All-Pros, Justin Madubuike, Roquan Smith, and strong safety Kyle Hamilton. Justin Madubuike signed a massive 4-year, $98 million extension after being placed on the franchise tag. After 3 seasons of consistent performance with the Ravens, who drafted him in the 3rd round of the 2020 NFL Draft, Justin had a breakout year in 2023. At 26 years old, he led all defensive tackles with 13 sacks and tied the league's single-season record by recording at least half a sack in 11 consecutive games. He also achieved career highs with 56 tackles, 12 tackles for loss, 33 quarterback hits, and 2 forced fumbles. The Ravens' defense showcased as one of the best in the entire league last season. After losing key pieces, they needed to make sure they were bringing back Justin, but they are also going to have to rely on some of their depth to step up. With these losses, it now leaves a question on whether or not Baltimore has one of the NFL's top defenses in the league. The Ravens have thrived with a physical defense over the last few years. This has been a key factor in their success. Last season, they led the NFL in sacks with 60 and turnovers with 31, securing the #1 seed in the AFC. However, this season brings new challenges. Baltimore is still anticipated to be one of the leading teams in the AFC, competing with the Chiefs for the top spot. They strengthened their already strong offense by adding Pro Bowl running back Derrick Henry. Last season in Tennessee, Derrick Henry rushed for 1,167 yards on 280 carries, scoring 12 touchdowns and averaging 4.2 yards per carry. The 30-year-old also caught 28 passes for 214 yards. The Ravens were the league's most powerful rushing team last season, totaling 2,661 yards on 541 attempts without a true lead rusher. Quarterback Lamar Jackson led the team in rushing yards. Henry joins a backfield that already features Jackson, potentially forming the NFL's best quarterback-running back duo. The Ravens recently lost Gus Edwards to the Los Angeles Chargers and J.K. Dobbins. Undrafted free agent Keaton Mitchell and Justice Hill remain on the roster and will serve as backups and situational running backs. It took some time for the Tennessee Titans to realize Derrick Henry's potential, despite him being a Heisman Trophy winner and a second-round pick. Near the end of Henry's 3rd season, the Titans finally began to rely on him, and he quickly became a superstar. In the following 2 seasons, Henry led the NFL in rushing yards and touchdowns. In 2020, he rushed for 2,027 yards and earned the NFL Offensive Player of the Year award. The Titans kept giving him carries because it seemed the defenders trying to tackle Henry were actually enduring more contact than Henry himself. Henry led the NFL in rushing attempts in 4 of his last 5 seasons. The one season he didn't lead in rushing attempts, he was averaging a career-high 27.4 carries per game, but played in only 8 games due to injury. Entering his age 30 season with 2,030 regular season rushing attempts in his NFL career, teams couldn't realistically expect him to deliver another vintage 2,000-yard season. However, he still has enough left to be a valuable asset in the short term, and the Ravens are betting on it. The Ravens bringing in Derrick Henry was one of the biggest moves this offseason and helps this offense that already is one of the best in the leagues, but makes it even better. The Ravens still had a few questions unanswered this offseason entering the draft, and were able to add depth that they are going to rely on this upcoming season. In the 1st round, they selected cornerback Nate Wiggins, who will go into this top defense and learn a ton his rookie year. He's going to turn into a key piece for this defense as he has so much potential. Wiggins was selected number 30 overall from Clemson. He was the 3rd cornerback taken in the draft and quickly committed to join a secondary known for its lockdown capabilities. Baltimore's defense ranked 1st in overall scoring last season, 6th in yards allowed through the air, and 2nd in passing touchdowns surrendered. Wiggins adds impressive speed to a secondary led by Marlon Humphrey, Kyle Hamilton, and Marcus Williams, clocking a 4.28 40-yard dash at the NFL Combine, the fastest time at his position. He earned first-team All-ACC honors in his final year at Clemson and led the Tigers in passes defense during his last 2 seasons with 12 and 9. While Wiggins only recorded 3 interceptions in his entire career, he returned 2 of them for touchdowns. General manager Eric DaCosta turned down 8 offers to trade back in order to secure the player he had hoped and wanted for all along. DaCosta described Wiggins as a ridiculous athlete and envisions him covering opponents' top receivers for years to come. Baltimore aimed to add more depth and versatility in the 2024 draft, as well as a long-term solution at a premium position. DaCosta mentioned that Wiggins, one of the 30 players who visited Baltimore for an official pre-draft visit, was among, according to Pro Football Focus. Wiggins allowed just 18 receptions on 41 targets last season, total best offensive. Nate Wiggins goes into this defense ready to learn and develop into a top corner in the league. But again, a major concern for this team isn't the offensive or defensive production. A main concern for a lot of fans is about the offensive line, as they lost a ton of depth. The Ravens had opportunities to invest in the offensive line, particularly at the guard position. Despite signing Josh Jones and drafting Washington's right tackle Roger Rosengart in the 2nd round, Baltimore decided not to bring in additional veteran talent. The team appears confident in who they have on their roster at the moment. A solid offensive line is crucial for Baltimore, allowing them to create running lanes for Henry and provide MVP quarterback Lamar Jackson sufficient time to dissect defenses. If John Harbaugh's instincts prove right, Baltimore could quickly transform this unit. Roger Rosengarten, a 4-year player at Washington, has started all 27 games at right tackle over the last 2 seasons. His standout performance in 2023 earned him an All-Pac-12 honorable mention, contributing significantly to the Huskies' offensive line that propelled the team to the national championship game. When the Baltimore Ravens selected Roger with the 62nd overall pick in last month's NFL draft, they knew they were acquiring a player from Washington that comes with a ton of potential. Despite Ravens head coach John Harbaugh not having the opportunity to observe him in person before the draft, any concerns were gone after Rosengarten impressed him during rookie minicamp earlier this offseason. Rodgers' versatility across the offensive line is a valuable asset for the Ravens, given their need to fill in multiple positions in the trenches. His athleticism suggests he could potentially secure a starting role from day one, especially now that he has showcased his skills directly to Coach Harbaugh. The Ravens made a ton of moves that put this team in the right direction, especially after making it so close to the Super Bowl. The offensive line leaves some concerns, but the front office did everything they believed they could do to make it as best as possible. They understand they may need to tweak it on the way throughout the season. The Ravens still have a very strong defense on top of a strong offense that got even better this offseason. It's going to be very exciting to see Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry playing together. If you made it this far and you haven't already, make sure you go down below and you subscribe and you turn the notification bell on so you never miss a Ravens video or any video at all. Comment down below what you're looking forward to most for next season. Leave a like as well. I greatly appreciate it. We are so close to 2,000 subscribers, so thank you guys so much, and I'll see y'all in the next one.